Episode of Necklace Forum, and today we have Judy Mzungu, a life coach, and she's going to share with us secrets maybe to a happy life, if there is, or to a more peaceful life. And perhaps she's going to tell us what do we need to do to maybe appreciate the life that we have. Yeah. Asante sana, Judy.
Yes. Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be on your show today.
Thank you too. You know, sometimes we look at women and we're like, what are women doing? And that's what Necklace Forum is about.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, Judy is doing this program about training people about wellness. So tell us about it.
Okay, basically the realignment program and my whole journey as a coach came out of my life. It wasn't something that I had sat down to think one day I'll be a life coach. No, I never looked at myself that way. I basically just went through a season where I would believe a season of introspection. And to just give you a bit of my story, I grew up, first of all, we grew up in middle class Nairobi, and something went wrong and we found ourselves in Kariobangi, in a one-roomed house, sleeping on the floor and stuff like that, and had to rise up from down at the bottom. But no one really sat down to tell me this is how you're going to weave your way through life. I remember at that time as a young child, maybe probably just ambitious in my head, trying to hold a fork and a knife with skuma and ugali in the house.
Dreams.
I was very ambitious. So, but yeah, so no one really taught me about etiquette. No one taught me about how do people behave in the upper as you go up, because really life is not meant for us to be down there.
Exactly.
But you must be equipped for how are you going to move into the next stages of your life. How are you going to behave in the next stages of life?
Yeah.
For me, I think what happened is that I started, even when I think about my career, I started down at the bottom as a cleaner come receptionist. But now, there was also something that was still ambitious about me. The person who saw me next gave me a job as just a full-time receptionist. And for me, it was a whole upgrade because now I wasn't cleaning anymore. But what happened is that I developed empathy for people because now I understand what it is to be down there. I was here cleaning, and then in the evening, I take myself to college. And those days, because I want to believe I'm slightly older than you, those days, by the way, everyone was being taken for typing.
Yeah. Typing with office practice. I did it as a Form 4 unit, a business unit.
For me, it was a whole life skill. I was learning how to do typing. So I did typing. Then I rose up from a receptionist. I learned now how to do admin work, administrative assistant. Then I became a personal assistant to the MD. Wherever I was working, I saw the lifestyle of the salespeople there.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
you got motivated.
I got motivated. I knew if I want to better my life, I'd better change my career. What I had then was motivation. I was very, very motivated. So I went. Wherever I went, honestly, I did a very good job. I was like the best salesperson.
Wow.
And the other thing that I also realized is that in my whole, like even when I started working now in sales, in all the sales jobs that I got jobs for a brand that is just starting, that is not established. I got jobs for brands that target the lower market.
Wow. And that's a very tough market.
That's a very tough market, but I couldn't understand it at that particular point in time because everyone wants to work in established organizations.
Because the market is ready and easy.
Yes, but that was never my story. I always did startups. I always was the person breaking the ground for a new organization and stuff like that. And so, I mean, that was it for a long time in my life until now. So I continued growing from salesperson to team leader. Then the next time I got a job as a sales and marketing manager. And then now, after a while, that I wasn't working anymore since 2014. I lost my job in 2014. Then I stayed out of work until now. 2016, I got a job again as a marketing manager for a radio station. yeah, so I worked there for a while, and then now I hit a low period where I was out of work and I just couldn't seem to get another job. But in that season, when I was at home without a job, that's when I rediscovered gifts and abilities that I didn't even know, or probably I knew them as a child, but they had died in the quest for survival. Because, sometimes life can just reduce you to, you wake up in the morning, you go to job, work, pay your bills, and that's it. But you're not finding fulfillment.
Yes, true.
So, so someone called me and asked me, can you write for me, you transcribe for me a book? So I transcribed, and then he was like, oh my God, Judy, you're so intelligent. I'd even forgotten. Now you can be at a place in Paka, you even forget.
And you can't even remember the last time anyone told you that?
Yes, you even forget what you have within yourself. Yes. That's what had happened to me. So he called me and he's like, are you on Facebook? And I said, no. Then he said, you can't do without social media. Why don't you just go and even take someone else's quotes and just put there as your personal branding? After a while, I didn't just write a quote. I wrote an article.
Ooh, nice.
And then I was fearful. So I put that article, posted it on social media,
and disappeared.
And ran away very fast. Because I didn't know what was
scared
there.
of critics. Oh my God.
But the response was overwhelming.
Oh my God.
Everyone was like, oh my God, she's so creative. Because again, I wasn't just writing things that are out there. I was writing based on my experience in the wilderness.
Wow.
So I was writing stories that encouraged you. I was writing stories that people could relate with. I sat down to evaluate my gifts and abilities. And I wrote down writing, I wrote speaking, and that's when a light bulb went on in my head, like, Judy, you can actually begin to train. Because I'd done very well as a salesperson. I had done very well in admin work. So I thought to package this and be able to go out there. So what I decided doing is just going to smaller organizations and speaking to them for free or at a fee to be able to gain exposure, experience, and stuff like that. And that worked out well because I was at that place of trying to build my brand and all. So now I was able to, I started speaking in church. I'll be given opportunities to speak in church, maybe release children, a 1 minute, a 2 minute thing here and there. So what for me, I would like to say to anyone probably who's going to watch this broadcast is don't take any opportunity that God gives you for granted. It will add up to something that is going to lead you to where you need to go.
Exactly,
So I continued like that, and then in November last year, I thought I need to come up with something that's going to help me to push me, because I knew that I have found home. I need to do this consulting thing, but then I also understood that there was a gap in the sense that I needed to be able to position myself so that people would be able to know who it is, who I am, what do I believe in, what do I stand for, and stuff like that. So then I started the YouTube channel. It's called Safarini with Judy Mzungu Hakula. I started the Facebook page, Safarini with Judy Mzungu Hakula. So basically the brand became Safarini with Judy Mzungu Hakula, because basically the understanding is we want to talk about the journey of life, we want to talk about the upsides, the downsides. More than that, we want to motivate, inspire, encourage, but we also want to impart life skills in the lives of people, just to be able to understand that no matter where you are at, you can rise up again, and there are gifts and abilities that God has put in you that can be put to use. So that's how Safarini started in November last year. So basically what we do on Safarini is every week we do an article, and out of the article, because I also realized one of the probably saddest thing that I realized is that people won't read an article. So I'll do an article, for the people who's a reader, and then I'll be able to break it down into motivational quotes.
Some of us read it. I think when it comes to reading, it's more about your technique. Like some people write very, very serious articles that are so hard to read on Facebook. Then some people write serious stuff, but the way they make it sound like I'm just talking to you. And so that one somebody will read up to the end. But if it is very serious, like a paper in a journal with quotes, I mean, We'll be like, okay.
I don't know, because
Yeah.
I don't know, because I looked at the statistics and I just realized probably we don't quite have a reading culture. Now you are among the few people who still read, you
Yes,
know, yeah.
yes.
Because most people will say, why don't you do? Actually, that's how I ended up
Yeah,
on
why
YouTube.
don't you do vlogs?
Why don't you do? Yes, because it's
Yeah.
easier for me to watch than to read. So anyway, so before I went into YouTube, I started breaking them down. I would break down an article into smaller bits and pieces that are easier for you to take to just get the point and run with it. And that has worked for me in terms of just being able to get the message out, to be able to encourage and inspire people and stuff like
Great.
that. Just when I was going through Facebook, I saw a Facebook challenge.
Yes.
Create your own cause. And I was like, okay. So I listened to that lady, and let me tell you, whatever she said made a lot of sense, because I had content. Only that I was waiting
You had
for
not packaged this.
yes, and I didn't know. I was waiting for Corona to end.
So that you can start having physical meetings with groups.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she opened up my mind to begin to look at it differently.
Yes.
And by that time, I was just writing, and I was on YouTube. Then she challenged us to go on Facebook Live. So, and I went on Facebook Live the first time. Again, the feedback was good.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, fine. Because now, this is the way to push this thing and be able to help people to understand exactly what I do and what I stand for. So, and that's how now our Facebook Live started. So we are on Facebook every Monday from 8:30 to 9 o'clock. On the Facebook channel, the Facebook Live, we talk about motivation, inspiration, encouraging people and imparting life skills and that. And now the feedback was, every time, like, we'd do a video, and the feedback would be, I'm exactly at the same place. Oh,
wow.
Yeah. And so I kept wondering, other than just talking to people and not helping them to understand, you tell them this season happens, but not helping them to understand
get out of
how
that
to get out of that
season.
season, then I'm not doing a good job of it. And that's how the realignment program came up. So basically, in terms of the realignment program, my thinking was, and just from my observation, even just talking to the people and stuff, is that many times when you talk about a personal branding program, you're talking about your grooming, your communication skills and all that, but you can look good on the outside.
But inside
you have issues.
Yeah. And that's what, you know, a lot of times people don't really think that matters.
If your body, your mind, and your spirit are not in alignment because you're not at peace, then you cannot have your creative juices flowing.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yes.
So because your creative juices are not flowing, you cannot even see opportunities, or even I believe that even those opportunities will not come to you, because sometimes you have to be at a certain
energy. People can feel the energy. Yes.
So that's where we start off from in terms of the realignment program. Actually, we start talking about what is the state of your body, your mind, and your spirit, and then we talk about you breaking free from the past. Because unless you break free from all those things that, and you know what, people have a lot of baggage.
True.
And they stand in the way of your productivity, they stand in the way of the way you relate with people and all that. So unless you're able to deal with all that, and then now you come to a place where you will actually self-reflect and think, what are my gifts and abilities, so that what can I do even as I move forward? And then now after that you can package yourself, and then you think about relationships. What are the degrees of relationships around you, so that you're not investing in relationships that probably they're not viable.
Exactly.
So those are life skills that people need. But
and just to know your self-worth,
just to know your self-worth.
A lot of times people don't value themselves as much as they should,
Exactly.
Just knowing I'm valuable, I should not be treated like this, I should not be talked to like this. I think it's important. And when you find somebody who's able to say, no, you're not going to talk to me like that, people say like, okay, Anna Ringa, but it's not Kuringa, it's being able to know who they are sometimes.
Exactly. And now it's good that you talk about that, because one of the things that I also just found is that the gap in terms of knowing your self-worth, in terms of being able to position yourself for opportunities, the gap is really on the lower market. You understand? Because I came from there, and I know how hard it is to even access some of this information.
Yes.
I know how hard it is sometimes. Sometimes you get into places where you actually do have the gifts and abilities, but you probably have to fight harder than the next person because they have the connections you don't. Even as I think about the realignment program, as I think about Safarini with Judy Mzungu Hakula, honestly, my burden is really for the masses. I believe that there are people down there who have gifts, who have abilities, who have talents. If they are helped to believe in themselves, if they are helped to equip themselves, if they are helped to even be able to access some of the doors open to know even how to open doors, because many times people are just thinking, I don't have a degree, therefore I'm not going to try. So because you don't have a degree, you eliminate yourself before the game starts. So what is the Safarini talking about? Safarini is about telling people you don't have to have a degree, you don't have to be 36, 24, 36, you don't have to be from the right tribe. You don't have to be 36, 24, 36. Yes, you don't have to come from the right tribe. You don't have to come from to have right connections
or status.
Exactly, because if you come from the masses, you don't have status.
When I came to Nairobi, I was from the village. I didn't know anyone, but I knocked on doors like, I'm just going to sit here until you just give me an opportunity. And I have been able to get those opportunities. There are times when I used to go to events, but because I was like, maybe I don't fit and all that, I could go to events, sit there, listen to people, have the cocktail and go. Then it reached a point I'm like, who gives a damn? I made my business cards and I go to an event and I'm told, oh, that's the so-and-so, that's the CEO and stuff. And I walk and I say, hi.
Exactly.
My name is Zippy. And that was even before I became a doctor. Now it's better and easier because I'm a doctor. But even before, I could just walk forward and say, hi, my name is Zippy Okot, I'm this and then. Can I have your card and talk to you another moment? Or I have this idea I want to talk to you about. And surprisingly enough, people give you a listening ear.
Thank you. And that is a message that we need to send out. That is a message that we need to send out there. Because you had to start from nowhere. No one knew you.
No one knew me. I came from Homa Bay. Even that town alone. Nowadays it's famous because of Jalas. But that is a small town at the end of Nyanza,
But just to be able to tell people that you have what it takes, you can make it, just be bold enough. Even for me, the fact that you even went to those cocktails, those events and sat there, do you know that exposure was very good for you? Now there are people, like there's a time I used to go to Kibera to do some talks for the youth there. Do you know there are people in Kibera who have never left Kibera, not even to go to Langata?
That's true.
So you realize that the problem is the lack of exposure. So your mind needs to be able to see and believe. And that's really, I feel like that's my call, to go back there and tell people, the world is out here. You can come and take it. The only thing is you must have a certain mindset, you must have a certain belief, and you must also have perseverance and persistence so that you make it to the other side.
I like when you talk about perseverance and persistence, because some people will tell you, I have tried many times, but I don't. But I mean, everyone has their time. So you have to keep trying until you don't need to stop. There are two things, like you need to try. But if you feel in your heart you're having doubts, then change to another thing or tactic. But if you're still feeling convicted, then continue to pursue it till the end, till you get it.
Exactly. I know that comes back to what I was telling you, the body, the mind, and the spirit. A lot of the times we're making mind decisions that are not coming from the heart. You understand? And that's also something that we need to go back and begin to empower people and begin to train people, and so that you're not like what happened to me as an example, and maybe that's why I have a burden for it. I would have been a journalist, an anchor. I actually wanted to be an anchor. You understand? But it didn't happen for me. I could easily have lost it. And actually, I'm coming back also to tell people, even in your 40s, you can still find your dream again and go back and do what you need to do. I was a marketing manager without a degree, without connections, without all those. And I believe that there's opportunity out there, and I just come back to tell people you can dream. It doesn't matter how old you are, whatever it is that you wanted to do in your 20s, come back and do it. I'm coming back to tell people, the youth, probably who feel disadvantaged come, you can still make it. Because either apart from, we're not just about motivating people, we're about imparting life skills, because it's one thing to open the door, it's another thing to stay in the room. So your ability to stay in the room will be about, do you have the honor, do you have the values, beliefs and values, do you have the discipline that will keep you there when the door does open?
That's something I think. Now maybe I should ask you, who is your target market? Because I'm looking at it like, these are things, you see, you did believe that and you discovered that quite late. Some of us, I think we fought so hard to even just study what we did. I studied drama and theater, and to the whole society, not just my parents, that was just the wrong thing to study. But I'm looking at it like just self-accepting and self-worth. We need to start telling this to our young people. And young people, I mean, even as young as 10 years, 15 years, as early as that. Because when we wait until we are 20, at that time we have already started deciding which career path to take, and we have started having doubts. So maybe tell me more about your audience.
My audience. Actually, I'll be honest, I'm looking at the masses. And the reason I'm looking at the masses, I feel like they are the ones who have even, you're talking self-awareness, they know nothing about self-awareness. You're talking about confidence, they know nothing about confidence. You know? So my target market is really the mass market and the SME market. You understand? Because that's where I came from, and maybe that's why I suffered the way I did. That's why I've had to find, it's a burden for me to find my talent at 40 something, you understand? But what can I do then? Gladly, I've had enough confidence to come out at this point and say, this is what I was born to do, I'm gonna do it. But there's someone down there that I can help, that in their 20s, can you be helped so that you don't have to take meander as much as I did,
you can find your path earlier.
And find your path earlier, so that it makes life a lot easier. But even then, even as I talk about that, there's someone even in their 40s who's thinking,
I need to change career.
I'm just here paying bills, it's fear that's holding us back, Well, I would say that's my secondary market.
You are just talking about life, the fears. Let me tell you, fear is a whole topic on its own. And you want to do business, but you have fear of taking loans.
Exactly.
You have fear of approaching people. You have fear of just, like you said, you can open the door, but can you stay in the room? So you have started this business, but you can't even tell somebody that this is the business I'm doing. Yes, it's your business. You've invested in it, but you're not still proud enough to even say.
And confident enough to say, this is what I do, and I believe, and this is the result.
Exactly.
So for me, the result should
be price.
And even price.
How many times do people post things that you DM for price? I'm like, this is your business. Put your price. Why aren't you confident? Just say my price is 5,000
and leave it at that.
Somebody will tell you theirs is 2,000, but I mean yours is 5, theirs is 2. They're different. It's okay. Quality.
So really, I'm going for the masses, and in terms of coaching, purposely we have made our courses very affordable, so that we are able to reach as many people as possible to transform lives.
You said it's 2,000 per month.
2,000 per month.
So during this month, how many times do I come?
It's an online program. So every week, we are there.
We have a session every week.
We have a session every week.
That's quite affordable.
And then we do WhatsApp discussions. But the realignment course is actually an 8-week course. So by the time you finish the realignment course, you will have spent 4,000 bob. When you think about it, it's about 500 bob a week, which is 100 bob per day.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And what the reason that our call is to transform the lives of people. But we also understand that unless it costs you something, unless you make a sacrifice for it, you won't value it. So that's what we are doing. And as far as the individual market is concerned, as far as corporate is concerned, we are going for the SME market, because that's what I understand. You remember I started by telling you I never was employed in, and I never understood. God was simply directing my path.
You are just being given to new starters.
Yes, starters and all. Yes,
class,
so and but basically that's it.
It prepared you for now.
Yes, I understand the SME market. I understand the masses. I know them. I have lived them.
Yeah.
Yes, and all my marketing has been to the SME market.
Great.
Yes.
Now, Judy Mzungu Mwafrika.
Yes.
Now, for this life coach, guys, you just need to save 100 shillings per day, 500 shillings per week. Guys, 2,000 shillings per month to help you make life-changing decisions. A lot of times we say we don't need it, but trust me, you need a counselor, you need a life coach because you don't know everything. You actually don't know yourself until you share. Then you realize this is what I am. And that's what Judy is offering you. So Judy, maybe your final words?
My final word is I believe that life can be achieved. We can achieve our goals. If only we are inspired, if only we are motivated, if only we understand and we have a strong value system that will take us through the valleys and the hills. And our call is simply to impart you with the life skills to be able to go through the various seasons of life. So welcome to Safarini with Judy Mzungu Hakula. That's where you find me every week on Facebook Live, 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Safari njema.
Safarini, safari ya maisha, it never ends, guys, okay? Yes. Judy is ready to take you on a journey of your life through Safarini by Judy Mzungu Hakula. City Hakula, but Hakula.
Yes.
Yeah.